What's up, traders? This is Matt with Conservative Trades, and look at Netflix. Man, look at Netflix. This is what happens when earnings are reported. I think a lot of you experienced, more seasoned traders out there have seen this sort of thing. But look at this. Look at this, guys. At the closing bell, got bought up from 427 all the way up to what is, I can't even, these charts aren't even good enough to go that high. 485 basically. I mean, just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. We're talking 50 points, literally in seconds. I mean, look at this. This is a 1 minute candle right here. Is this not insane? Is this not insane? Look at this. And it's lost all that value. Boy, I really feel bad for the person who bought up here. And hopefully whoever did buy up here started selling their position here or here. I hope they're not still holding on to it. This is ridiculous. And I'm, as a short bias trader, I'm almost tempted to just go straight bearish on this right now. I mean, Netflix literally could end up way down here back at these levels by the end of post-market hours. But this is really, really dangerous trading, guys. And for those of you who are newer to day trading, don't trade this. Don't trade this. Now, I am not a professional financial advisor. So, trading is considered high risk. If you trade at your own risk. But I'll just tell you, I wouldn't trade this, even as a more seasoned trader. And no, I'm not the most professional trader out there, but I have been trading for 2.5, maybe going close to 3 years now, and I don't even think I would touch this. I mean, if I did, it would just kind of be very quick in and out type scalping strategy, but again, for those of you who don't know much about trading, that's not really going to mean anything to you. But some of you other seasoned traders out there who are watching this, you know what I'm talking about. Just really quick, in and out, very, 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 very small share size. I mean, I don't even know if I would go more than 20, 30 shares on something like that. Because it runs against you, $3, $4, and you're already going to be down $100, even at 30 shares. So, But anyway, I'll tell you what, this is just, it's insane. It's insane. I mean, typically when you see stuff like this, it'll at least come all the way up here and then maybe have like some kind of major pullback to here. But this is just losing everything. This is losing everything. So I wouldn't touch it. But anyway, guys, enough of that. Moving on today. And let me go ahead and pull up the executions here so you can see the trades that I took. Today is history was made. History was made. Let's just put it like that. I don't think I've ever made $80 on one share before. But today, believe it or not, guys, I made $80 on one share. And I was really hoping, it was going to push down to where I could actually make a full $100 off of that one share. You guys should have been there in the live stream. It was intense. We were having a good time with it. Gradually kept lowering my stop further and further as it went down. And, we were talking about how cool it would be to be able to make a video about how you can make $100 off of trading one share in the stock market. And so anyway, I'll just kind of pull this chart out here and just run over this trade. And I will say this, obviously you guys can see I'm up on the day. I'm up $256.82. For those of you who were in the live stream, I think the last time we left off, I think when I closed out the live stream, I was only up, I don't know, maybe $210, maybe, I think it was. So you can see that I made, and really this was just, let's see here. Last trade I took, 11:52 in the live stream. So you can see I took 1, 2, basically 2, 3 more trades since then. I took a trade on Netflix, took a trade on AMD, was in and out a couple times. So we could call that a couple trades. And then one more trade on Netflix. But they were all pretty much in my favor. And, I scalped my way up about, close to another $50 on the day. And I was here working from home. I do other work outside of trading. And so I was really just kind of, working, and I had alerts set, to see when volatility was starting to come back into the markets on the SPY and that sort of thing. And so it was literally just, I would go to work, and then when an alert would go off, I'd come in, I'd see some good setups, some good opportunity. I'd take a quick scalp, and then I'd go back to work. So really, to make that extra $50 did not require much of my time at all. And you can see here, scalped a couple times on Netflix, made $24. Scalped a couple times on AMD, a couple times on Roku, or really just one time on Roku. But today I'm pretty much up, guys. Very, very light trading today. Very light trading. I'm probably up, I don't know, maybe close to $220 after fees and commissions. But all this to say, I'm not going to go through all of this. really the only trade that I want to go through today. And the only trade that I want to talk about is the trade on Shopify, SHOP ticker symbol. And this was actually called out by one of the guys in the chat. And so let's see here. Oh, I'm on a 1 minute chart. Let me get down to a 5 minute chart. Here we go. So one of the guys, one of the other traders called this out this morning, and I think he was looking to go long on it. I think he was actually kind of in it for long, and it had gotten in for pre-market, and so he made a really nice move. He obviously did really well because when this came into the markets this morning, I mean, it sold all the way up here. You know, there's like a, I don't know, 20, 30 point move, something like that, probably about yeah, 20 some point move at the market open, and so he did really nice on that. But he had called it out, and so I threw it on my watch list, and I was watching it, and I was watching it, and it kept coming up to these levels, but it just couldn't break. And I noticed that the SPY was weak. And I'll go ahead and just bring in this chart here. One thing that we were all kind of looking at on the SPY today, I drew this trend line. I think I had actually drawn this trend line yesterday, but the SPY was basically opening up under this trend line, and it was coming down on this key critical area of support at 275.46. So SPY wasn't doing that well, guys. It was showing a lot of signs of weakness, and it was showing that we were getting some momentum to the downside on it. And so when I saw that Shopify could not break this level here, I went ahead and went in with just 10 shares here at 65 or $658.21. Okay, and you can see right there that little red dot is where I went short, and I came out way too quickly on the first half. I went ahead and took 5 shares off at 654, and so just moved really too quickly on that. But we had so much chop in this area that I didn't know what it was going to do, and I thought, better to go ahead and just lock in some profit, and then if it runs against me, even breaks out past these highs, it'll basically be a break-even trade. I might even be down a little bit on it at that point. But as you can see, it kept going. And so I held on to that other 5 shares all the way until down here. I think I took off another 2 shares at 637.21. And the reason for, and you'll notice this will be kind of a common thread as we go down and peace out here, but I was, seeing that I took the trade at 658.21, I wanted to go ahead and move it down an extra $1 to basically pay for my commission on that trade, because it's with that small of share size, I'm basically paying just $1 for a trade. So to scale out here, I wanted to make sure that on those 2 shares I could make I guess it would have been about $40 at that point, but I wanted to make sure that I could also pay for that trade. So I took it at 637.21 instead of 638.21. If you guys can, hopefully I'm being clear about this, and a lot of you guys know enough about math to where you can figure it out. But I went ahead and took another share off here at 627.21, and then it was kind of bouncing around here, and it looked like the SPY might be getting ready to reverse. So I went ahead and just set a stop here at 625-ish, and it went ahead and got me out on one more share. So mind you, I took 10 shares here short. I got out the first 5 here. I got out another 2 here. I got out 1 here, 1 here. So I had 1 left, and I held on to that 1 share all the way down. You can see I put my stop kind of over these candles here, and it got me out here on that final take profit. And basically I made $80. It got me right around 578. So I made $80 on that last share. Can you believe it? But guys, this is really the awesome benefit of trading with conservative share size. You don't have to risk too much on a super spready, super volatile stock like this that has a chance of moving even 100 points in a day, or 50 to 100 points in a day, we'll say. And so you can get in with very conservative share size and just hold on and just gradually piece your way out. And look at this, guys. I made over $200 just on that trade. And we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tickets. 6 tickets. So I'm spending roughly $6 in commissions. $6 in commissions, maybe with a few ECN fees in there. Let's just say, $7. Okay. And so, really, when you think about it, I made $197 on 10 shares. I basically made $200 on 10 shares today, guys, on this trade. This was the best trade of the day. And so anyway, this just kind of goes to show that having a conservative trading strategy, I mean, you can do really well with it. You really can. Now, here's the thing for me. 10 shares is super conservative. And if I hadn't have gotten chopped out of the market so much in these last few weeks, if these last 4 to 6 weeks have not just been some crazy, volatile, irrational ride through the stock market, I easily would have jumped in with, probably 20, 30, maybe even 40 shares at this point. And I just would have set my stop to, the high of day up here. So I would have risked, maybe on 20 shares, I would have risked a couple $100. But and then the other thing is I would have let this ride down. I would have at least taken maybe first profit here, as it was testing some of these lows. And I probably really only would have come out about 5 shares at that point. And I would have held on to a lot of my position all the way through here. And this really would have been more like a 5, 6, maybe even $700 trade on just 20 to maybe 30 shares. Okay. Would have been anywhere from a $500 to $700 trade in normal market conditions. Again, if I hadn't been slapped in the face so many times. But I think we all know the story by now, especially a lot of you guys who have been following the channel. You know that this market has been really rough for me in the past few weeks. And, it hasn't been devastatingly bad. And yet there's been a lot of green days in there. But I've gotten my face rocked off a few times, and it's had me a little shooken up. And I have seen even some of the best and just most classic chart pattern setups go to complete waste and just completely turn back and slap me in the face just because the SPY and the markets as a whole just all of a sudden wanted to make some kind of weird, crazy, irrational move in the other direction. Okay, and so we were even talking about it in the live stream this morning. And again, if you've been following the channel long enough, this is something that you've heard me talk about multiple times over. But, first of all, nobody ever could have predicted this move to begin with. Okay. This is the SPY right here. Nobody could have ever predicted a drop like that. But then I don't think anybody, not with the market the way it is, not with the global, pandemic, this coronavirus, not with the global economy completely shutting down. I don't think anybody would have imagined some huge V-shaped recovery like this. I mean, that's what we've had. We've had almost a 50% retracement V-shape. Or 50% V-shaped retracement. Okay. And so now looks like we're finally going to start coming down and maybe testing some of these levels. But guys, I don't know. I wouldn't really put it past this market to just continue to pull up irrationally and just make a full recovery. I mean, this time next month, 2 months from now, we could be looking at all-time market highs. So it's been crazy, guys. It's been a crazy market to trade. And, it's really kind of had me, it's really kind of rocked me even with my strategy, a strategy that I've been used to trading, and I've been trading very well here for a while. But, this is why, once again, when I went in on Shopify today, this is why I only took 10 shares, instead of taking 20, 30 shares and this being a nice, $500, $600, $700 day for me. You know what? I took 10 shares. I made a couple $100. I'm ending the day up 256.82. So, at this point, I'll take it. Now, as I continue to reestablish confidence, I'll start taking more shares. And I'll start, kind of hopefully rocking and rolling with my strategy again here. But, for those of you who maybe you've just got small accounts anyway, maybe you couldn't even take 30, 40 shares on Shopify. Maybe you would have only been able to take 10 shares on Shopify. Okay, well, then you should be happy to know that you can totally do that. And with a nice, healthy, scaled out type of strategy, you can make $200-300. Really, had I not been so nervous with this move, guys, like I said, I would have held on to those first 5 shares, at least down to a test of these lows here. And really, honestly, I would have probably only taken 3 shares off at a time, or maybe even 2 shares off at a time. So this, again, even with just 10 shares, I could have played this better. I could have traded this much better, and I could have made maybe even $350. But yeah, my claim to fame right now is going to be $80 on 1 share. I'd like to know, and leave me a message down in the comments. Let me know if you've ever made $80 on 1 share. But it's a very good, solid trading strategy here that we're demonstrating, guys. And it can be done with even smaller accounts. This is a very realistic type of trading setup for even people who only have a very modest account size out there. So anyway, guys, hope you've enjoyed the video. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. And please keep in mind, we do trade live here on the channel Monday through Friday, beginning roughly around 9 a.m. And to those of you who were in the live stream today, especially my guy who called out Shopify, you know who you are. I don't want to blow up your name here on the whole internet, so I'm trying to be respectful of that. But yeah, appreciate the shout out on Shopify. And look forward to seeing all you guys back in the chat tomorrow morning. And have a great evening. We'll see you. Take care.